Tonight from Toronto's Rogers Centre, the Red Sox go for 6 in a row with all-star J.D. Martinez closing in on 100 RBI already. The major's top home run hitter takes aim at the Blue Jays. Hi, everybody. Welcome north of the border. Dave O'Brien alongside Steve Lyons. Garen Austin joining us in just a couple of moments. And, Steve, the Red Sox probably have the top two candidates in the lineup for the most valuable player in the American League. J.D. Martinez, clutch again last night here in Toronto.
Like he is almost every night. It's unbelievable to be able to watch him play day in and day out. He's got such a patterned swing. He works at it so hard, and it works so well for this ball club. In his first at-bat, he made an out, but he was just getting warmed up. In his second at-bat, he singled. Look at the swing. They look almost exactly the same. He gets a breaking ball for a double in his third at-bat, and then finally that ball up and in right in his kitchen. He hits a home run. That was a 3-run homer that pretty much put this game out of reach. But you look at what he's been able to do with the RBI numbers, and of course, he leads everybody in home runs.
34 home runs, #1 in the big leagues, #1 in RBI as well, and quickly closing in on the 100 mark. Tonight, Brian Johnson will be on the bump in game #2. Red Sox going for the series win here in Toronto. When we come back, Aaron will have more on Rafi Devers. He is back in the lineup, off the 10-day disabled list, returning as the third baseman here in Game 2 against the Blue Jays, coming up in just a moment. Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Visit your local Buick dealer. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Your New England Audi dealers, get behind the wheel of the Audi you've always wanted. And by Amica Home Life and Auto Insurance that always puts you first. It'll be baseball indoors tonight inside Rogers Centre. Dave O'Brien, Steve Lyons, and Garen Austin for more on the return of Rafael Devers in the lineup tonight.
Hi, OB. Well, Rafael Devers was activated today back in the lineup. Talked to him earlier in the clubhouse. He said he's feeling good, but he said it's been hard to be out while the team has been playing so well. Alex Cora said that Devers will play today, be off tomorrow, back in the lineup on Friday. He said with this turf, they have to take... admitted it's been some ups and downs this season for Devers, but he said they have a lot of trust in him, OB, and they're happy to have him back in the lineup.
And as he returns, Garen's with a 5-game hitting streak. And tonight batting in the 8th spot up against Mike Hauschild, who the Red Sox have never seen. He's about to make his first major league start. Here's a look at the Sox lineup tonight. Brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Mookie Betts in right field, followed by Andrew Benintendi in left. Mitch Moreland at first base. JD Martinez, 34 homers, 97 RBI to DH. Xander Bogaerts at short. Jackie Bradley in the 6-hole in center. Nunez at second base with Devers at third, and Sandy Leon, who's been a rock back there, doing the catching and batting ninth against Housechild, who is 1-0. It was a long shot that he would even be pitching against the Red Sox tonight. Pretty good story, actually. We'll tell that tonight.
Defensively for your Toronto Blue Jays, around the infield, Solarte at third, Diaz at short, nailing that position down. Travis with a big home run last night at second, Smoke at first. In the outfield, Hernandez, Pilar, Grichuk, and doing the pitching and catching, Martin and Housechild.
Humps tonight brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Ramon DeJesus has the plate. Gabe Morales at first, Jerry Meals at second. Ed Hickox will make the calls at third base. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. As mentioned, the roof is closed. Man, did it rain here last night. So much that many of the streets around Rogers Center were actually severely flooded. Red Sox Hotel lost power earlier this morning for several hours, so it's been a mess up here.
And then there was an explosion across the street that was caused by the flooding. 6 inches in an hour, I had heard on the news.
Took the Red Sox a while to get back to their hotel late last night. Well, Mookie Betts to lead things off, and a right-hander, Housechild's first one in there for a strike. And the book we have on him is he will throw a lot of strikes, a lot of different kinds of pitches, including a forkball, which almost nobody throws anymore.
There's his slider right there. A lot of people don't like that slider. They don't think it breaks enough.
He also works very quickly. Mookie hitting .341 with 26 home runs. And as he often does, Mookie kick-started that 10th inning rally last night with a triple just out of the reach of Pilar, the diving center fielder. Red Sox piled on a lot of runs late to win it. Fly ball into right center field, and a much easier play for Pilar, the Gold Glove candidate. One man gone.
It won't matter how much that slider breaks if he keeps it in that location right there, down and away from hitters. It's a good pitch. Take a look at it again. Not a lot of nasty break on it, but look where it is. Off the plate, down. Tough pitch for Mookie to reach.
Sends up Andrew Benintendi, 302, 14 home runs. On base 4 times last night. Red Sox getting their first look at this right-hander, Housechild. Wasn't just released on July 30th. He was released by the Fresno Grizzlies, the AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros. So it's a bit of a miracle he's pitching tonight in the major leagues against the Red Sox. He fires a strike there.
Last Thursday, the Blue Jays literally signed him, gave him a physical, and had him in uniform in one day. Signed his contract an hour before game time. They wanted him to start, but he hadn't completed his physical yet.
So he tossed 6 scoreless innings out of the bullpen against Seattle, and he picked up the win. Filed away by Benintendi.
They ended up starting Tyler Clippard in that game, let him throw an inning. Then Housechild came in and threw 6 scoreless. They handed him the ball and said, "You're the starter in 5 days."
That's going to be up top, ball 4. So Benintendi, as he often does, takes a walk. And he becomes the first Red Sox base runner in front of Mitch Moreland, who blasted a huge home run last night.
This was a massive bomb right there, just right on the sweet spot. You don't see Mitch Moreland stand there and admire many of his home runs, but he knew this was walloped. Clutch.
That was in the 10th. That proved to be a game winner. Red Sox hit all 3 of their home runs after the 7th inning.
You know, Dave, there's a lot of rumors going around the Blue Jay organization that the reason why they did what they did with Housechild in his last start, letting him go ahead and go in relief, is that John Gibbons, the manager, didn't want Seattle to know that they had signed him, so that they would not have time to look up any film on him. They wouldn't know a thing about him, and it worked out great.
Wave and a miss. That one disappeared. Good changeup. So maybe a little gamesmanship from John Gibbons. A lot of rumors about John and his immediate future here in Toronto as well. Those were in the newspapers today, that maybe they will look to make a change even before the season is out, and what has been a very disappointing year for the Blue Jays. 1-1 off the outside. John Gibbons said about Housechild, he said it's a tremendous story. The odds of him being there in the big leagues weren't really good. Said he did a tremendous job. He threw strikes. He threw everything at any time. He looked like he belonged in the majors. Their bullpen was really depleted at the time. So ground ball up the middle, might be 2. On to first. They'll turn to double play. Saw a few of those last night too. The Red Sox hit into one here off the bat of Mitch Moreland to retire the side in the first inning. And then Hernandez, Morales, and Solarte. Russell Martin's had a really tough year. He's doing the catching. Diaz, their hottest hitter, they bat him 8th, and Pilar is in center. Hitting 9th against the Red Sox starter, presented by New England Audi Dealers. That is the left-hander Brian Johnson, 2-3 at 3.74 ERA. Had a fascinating start in beating the Yankees the last time out. He struck out a career high 11, but he also gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. One to Grichuk. A dribbler, and Johnson will grab that and underhand flip to get him for a fast out.
Now, Dave, I want to take you back to that double play that ended the inning. With most teams, when they shift now, they bring the third baseman all the way over to play what would normally be second base. They put the second baseman in the gap between first and second. That way you don't have everybody out of position, and your shortstop stays in his normal position so he can more easily turn a double play. That's your third baseman acting like a second baseman and flipping it over. So that double play becomes a 5-6-3.
Tagged into center field, but not terribly deep off the bat of Travis, and a fast out. 2 up and 2 down in front of Smoke.
Red Sox defense brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Devers off the DL and back in the lineup at third base. Bogey at short. Nunez moves back over to second base. Moreland at first. In your outfield, there they are. Best in the business. Benintendi, Bradley Jr., Betts in right field. And the battery today, Sandy Leone catching Brian Johnson.
Raphael back from the shoulder and starting at third base. And as Garen mentioned, he'll have tomorrow off. Red hot Justin Smoke, 11-game hitting streak, and he tied the ball game in the 9th inning with a 1-out home run at 5-5 off of Craig Kimbrell. Well, the Red Sox would rally to win the ball game and take game 1. Home run came on a 3-0 pitch.
Yeah, you know, that's so unfortunate. I really kind of think maybe Kimbrell wasn't thinking he was going to swing 3-0, and he decided to go ahead and hammer it.
Smoke switch hitter back in July, homered from both sides of the plate in a game against the Red Sox. So power lefty and righty. 1-2. A wave and a miss. Real quick inning for Johnson. Great changeup to put him away. 1-2-3 they go. In the American League, Red Sox with 78 home runs. Yankees at 93. JD Martinez 34.
Oh, that is a pitch that will not last in this game. That is the backup slider that he threw a lot when he pitched against the Mariners, and they just never adjusted to it.
And a ground ball to short. Diaz will gobble that up, and JD fires. Diaz fires on to get him. The numbers we showed you there were American League home run leaders at home. The Red Sox have been tearing the cover off the ball. One man gone for Xander Bogaerts.
It doesn't really matter where they are. Home, away. Throw a baseball at them, they'll hit it.
And hitting a ton of them. Xander Bogaerts 273 with 16 home runs. Jackie Bradley on deck. Red Sox at 80 wins through 114 games. That is a franchise record. And a season high 46 games over 500. Sox exploding late to score 10 runs in last night's win. They scored 5 or more now 66 times this season. They're 57-9 in those games. That one driven high and deep to left center. Hernandez will run it down though into the alley to make the catch, and there are 2 gone. Well, the scouting report we had on Housechild certainly accurate. He works quickly, throws a lot of strikes.
Hopefully that'll come back to haunt him a little bit later in this game once the boys see him. That was the whole reasoning behind Gibbons not listing him as their starter, so they wouldn't figure out who he is too quickly.
That'll bring up Jackie Bradley, who belted a 2-run homer in the 10th inning last night to help seal that come from behind victory. And for a long stretch in that ball game, it certainly didn't look like it was headed that way, the way Stroman dealt.
He was good.
Then he developed a blister and had to exit after 7. And it was a completely different game. It became a slugfest after that. Really both ways.
On both sides.
Got that finger all wrapped up today. Nunez on deck. He's moved over to second base tonight with Devers returning to the lineup. And a 2-1. That'll drift outside. Red Sox are really at home here in Toronto, aren't they? They won 16 of the last 20 here. And a 3-1 that'll miss away, and Jackie Bradley very patiently will take ball 4. So Housechild has now walked 2 men.
Tune in tonight to NESN's news coverage to get the latest on the Patriots as they prepare for their first preseason game against the Redskins. Coverage of the NFL preseason is brought to you by Cross Insurance, where security meets strength.
Eduardo 260 with 6 home runs. He snapped the 4-game hit streak last night by going 0 for 5. So you've seen a guy for the first time, and there's not a lot of information necessarily about a guy like Housechild. What are you looking for?
Well, you got to look for fastballs first. I mean, we know that he's going to throw a lot of sliders, but to me, you have to go up there looking for your favorite pitch to hit, and for most guys, it's a fastball. He's not overpowering. He's going to top out at about 92. We've already talked a lot about his slider. He loves to throw it, but it's not necessarily always a good one. Guys will call a bad slider a cement mixer or a backup slider. It's one that just doesn't do much but spin.
2 down in the 1-0.
However, they said that he threw 1 million of those, but the Mariners never adjusted, and he didn't give up any runs in 6 innings.
They put a real hurt on Seattle too by going out there and winning 3 out of 4. He has shown a decent off-speed pitch. That time a slider. He's also mixed in a changeup already.
See the spin of that pitch? Slider. Way out front.
Bradley on. Not a big lead for Jackie, and the 2-1. To the shortstop Diaz, and a flip will retire the side, so he makes pretty quick work of the Red Sox again here in the 2nd inning. Bottom two, it'll be 4, 5, and 6 coming up here for Toronto against Brian Johnson, who got him in order in the first, including a strikeout of Justin Smoke. Did he go? He did. It's a swing and a miss. Gabe Morales agrees for strike one. Hernandez 246, 16 home runs. Still decent power up and down the lineup, as the Blue Jays showed last night. Smoke has 18, Morales has 13, Solarte 17, and Diaz 14. So if you make a mistake, even though the season has gone awry for Toronto, they can make you pay.
As they made the Mariners pay. Just mentioned, Mariners trying to be in the heat of a battle there. That was not a good series for them.
No, they're now 7.5 out behind Houston and 2 games behind the second place Oakland Athletics in there for strike. And now King Felix, they're debating whether King Felix is going to continue in the starting rotation. His last 4 or 5 have been just awful. Gave up 11 runs his last start. That is pounded in there at 90 right in the corner to catch. Hernandez admiring the pitch.
Tell you what, he's just painting right there. Watch what Brian Johnson does during his delivery. He kind of taps his glove one extra time before he lets the ball go. You wouldn't teach anybody to do this. Watch this tap. Take the ball out, tap it back in, and then throw the ball. Very unnatural thing to do as a pitcher. Never seen anyone else do it.
Here's Morales, the switch hitting DH from Cuba. 249, 13 home runs. Now he's the guy that Sandy Leon tagged out coming third to home on a key play last night, as it's popped into right for Mookie Betts. 2 down.
Just a fantastic play right here. The presence of mind, knowing where the ball is, wanting to get it before it goes foul, and then making the tag on Morales.
Alex Cora saying today it's the best defensive play of the year for the Boston Red Sox. Not by a catcher, by anybody.
High praise.
He said he's never seen that before. Jason Varitek, who's with the ball club right now and helping instruct the catchers, said he had never done that. Had rarely even seen that kind of a play.
Right. I mean, it just doesn't happen very often. The smartest part of the play was the fact that Sandy got to the ball before it went foul and got an out of it. If he lets it go foul, Morales gets another chance to hack with the bases loaded. He's got 13 homers.
Heck of a play. Very wily play. As you said, a highly intelligent play to get that out. Now Harris Solarte, the batter, 236. He's hit 17. He punches that one foul. One of 3 switch hitters in the lineup. Johnson looking to get them in order for the 2nd inning in a row. And popped him up and playable. Moreland racing for it. Mitchell get there. Side retired.
Excellent.
Another good frame from the left-hander Johnson. He gets a 1-2-3. Coming up here in the top of the third in Toronto, Rafael Devers back in the lineup tonight from his shoulder ailment, and he will take ball one. He did have one rehab stint at Short A Lowell where he hit a solo home run, drove in a couple. He has a 5-game hitting streak as he returns to the lineup.
How about that? Take 10 days off, have that one rehab start, go deep, drive in a couple, and then come back to the big leagues.
Sandy Leon on deck and the 2-0. Child's already walked a couple of men. He walked Benintendi in the first, Jackie Bradley in the second.
Devers also had a left hamstring issue. Glad that's probably healed up by now with the extra time off.
Three balls, one strike. 245, 15 home runs. And the count fills up.
Little sinking fastball to the outer half. A really nice pitch right there on a 3-1 and a good take.
Payoff pitch just got a piece of it.
There's your any pitch anytime OB. 3-2 changeup. A house child. This is the kind of guy I think that Devers can handle.
Floats that one toward the alley on the move. Pilar, that's going to drop down, take a big bounce. He's heading for second, and the throw's not going to get him. He slides in quickly, so immediately testing the wheel and has himself a double.
I just don't think this guy has anything that Devers can't handle up there. There's another changeup right there. You see the reverse spin. He's all over it, and he does a great job of reading the bounce in the outfield. Coming around first, he knows Pilar's out there. Watch the big bounce. As soon as Devers sees that, he keeps going.
Now, we've talked about it all season long. When he gets going, when he's in full stride, he moves well. And there for a strike in Sandy Leon, 219, 4 home runs. So 6-game hitting streak for Devers.
Welcome back.
In a scoring position with nobody out. Now, Sandy really has become one of the MVPs of this ball club, hasn't he? The Red Sox love having him behind the plate. They've gone 24-1 in his last 25 starts.
What?
Isn't that remarkable? Throw down is not going to get Devers. He dives back in.
That's a stat you can't even think of seeing.
24-1 his last 25 starts at catcher.
Goodness. It's amazing. They really have leaned on him, and he's done nothing but become a better player since they have.
Mookie Betts on deck. Red Sox trying to strike here against the right-hander. And a 1-2.
Some of those starters ERAs have a lot to do with that 24-1.
Well, no question about that. Red Sox starters with a 1.83 ERA over the last 18 games, and he has caught the lion's share. And tomorrow night, 7:07, Rick Porcello going for his 15th win of the year.
We talked about that play last night that Leon made by grabbing the ball that would have gone foul, tagging Morales before he could score. He also
2 outside, ball 3.
He also made a fantastic play last Monday night where they had the Phillies in a rundown between home and first and knew exactly when to throw the ball to Bogey at third so he could make a tag there and then keep the other guy in a rundown and get that out for a double play. Fantastic play.
Payoff pitch, Devers at second, and he'll walk him. So he has walked 1 in each of the first 3 innings. He has yet to pay for that. Mookie Betts coming up, down to Garrett Austin.
OB, Steve, the biggest news coming out of the Red Sox clubhouse today is that Mookie Betts is going to be a dad. Baby Betts is due in November of 2018, and Betts said it's such a blessing. They're very excited, and he said it felt like a good time to make the announcement with everything coming up. And guys, with all the new dads in the clubhouse, Betts said he hasn't got any dad advice yet, but as the date gets closer, he knows he'll have a lot of guys in the clubhouse for support.
Yeah, a lot of that's coming for sure.
It will be the hardest job he ever loves.
And sleep will be a distant memory. Mookie 0 for 1. He's flying out. That one sounded like it got him. It did. It hit him as he went sprawling down, hit the deck. That's going to load up the bases. They have gotten him on the hand.
Still smiling. There's that split finger fork ball that you're talking. Mookie took his hand off the bat, and that's the hand that it hit right off his left knuckles. Trying to get out of the way. But I'll tell you what, Mookie has seen a few too many balls up near his noggin for my taste lately. There's been a rash of them, haven't there?
And Pete Walker, the pitching coach out there, to find out why the wildness from Housechild, because he did not show that against Seattle. Now the bases are going to be all loaded up. A double, a walk. Mookie getting hit, and Benintendi will climb in. He walked in the first inning. Andrews starting the night in the top 10 in the American League in batting average, runs scored, on base percentage, doubles, and he's getting close in RBI. Foul that one away for a strike. Moreland on deck. Red Sox trying to break through. Golden chance here early. Sox with a man at every base here in the third inning. And a slicer foul down the left field line.
If you're thinking grand slam, there's been 9 of them for the Red Sox so far this season. There were 0 of them last year. This season they started off with a bang. I believe they hit 6 in the month of April.
Already activity in the bullpen. Santos getting going. And the 0-2 on the way to Benintendi. Fly ball center field. Pilar driven back on the back pedal. He'll get underneath. He makes the catch. Tagging up. Here comes Devers. He will be in to score. Leon chugging on down to third base, and the Red Sox are on the board as Rafael Devers touches home.
Every one of the Red Sox base runners tagged up on that play. They knew Pilar was going to catch it. Pilar made the smart move by throwing it as hard as he could, getting it back into second base so that Mookie wouldn't move up. Watch Mookie in the corner of your screen. He's going to go tag up. Leon's tagging up. Everybody's tagging up. That's what have moved into second if there wasn't a strong throw into second base right there.
So Benintendi with his 67th RBI. Moreland hit into double play in the first inning, so he is 0 for 1. Red Sox take the 1-0 lead. Betts holding it in there for a strike, so you'd have to say early on the returns are good on Devers with that hamstring healing up. Stay on the disabled list, able to get ready and come back from that ailing shoulder as well, and the time off may have done him a lot of good.
Yeah. 10 days, especially with a hammy, it's not something you want to test right away.
First and third with one gone. There goes Mookie Betts, and he is going to steal that without a throw as he goes diving into second.
Wow.
Number 22.
That's Little League style when they don't even make a throw down there. Mookie's got great speed, but got to figure at least they'd attempt to throw him out. Nothing.
So second and third with one away, and Moreland can do some damage. And he sucks that one to center field deep. Pilar racing back. He's already turning. That is off the wall. That's going to bring in two. Leon is in to score. Here comes Mookie right behind him. Mitch Moreland strikes again. And slammed that one not far from getting out to dead center field. His 16th double to make it 3-0 Red Sox.
This is a ballpark that hitters love. The ball jumps out of here pretty good. This ball just away from him. He goes straight back up the middle with it. Takes it to the deepest part of the park. It's the one place where it's very difficult to hit the ball out. A long way to hit it at the 400 sign right there, and he hit it right off of it.
57 RBIs now for Moreland, who had a huge home run last night. And the Red Sox are off to the races. Here's J.D. Martinez 0 for 1. He is grounded out to short.
These guys don't give you a chance to catch up on your scoring.
Believe me, we've been talking about it all season.
Help me, I'm way behind here.
327 with 34 homers and 97 RBI. 4 RBIs last night. He drives that one on a line into left field. Moreland into third. They'll stop in there as the throw comes back in. The base hit by Martinez, first and third with one away. And Housechild is getting knocked around. The Red Sox are starting to reach him here in a big way in the third inning.
Now people think that, well, here he comes too. Gaby's coming to get him. People think that maybe you should score on a ball hit to left field. Moreland should have scored, but you can't. Two things there. Moreland has to make sure that ball gets through. The depth perception isn't great. That ball, in his eyes, might have gone straight to the third baseman. Also, JD hit it so hard, gets to the outfield so quick, you don't have a chance to score.
Give him a 7-game hitting streak. Santos coming in. And a quick exit for the starter tonight. Mike Housechild. Just signed as a free agent. Pitched very well in relief against Seattle, but the Red Sox belt him around here in the third inning. In the frame, 2 doubles.
About Sandy Leon. Well, last night, what a play. And earlier today, Alex Cora talked about the season Leon is having.
That was amazing. That honestly, I know Jackie will get probably the play of the year this year with us, but that was for me that's the play of the year right there. I mean, for him to go after it, have the presence of mind of catching the ball and just tag him. That, I mean, Jason was talking about it. He never did it, and well, first of all, it never happens, and for him to react that way, that was impressive.
What does that say about his instincts and kind of feel for the game?
His baseball IQ is way up there. And the good thing about him, he's willing to keep learning. You saw it yesterday in that 3-0 count. He swung, and that's going into conversations that we trust him, and we trust his swing in certain spots, and he did. And obviously, offensively, when he's out of the zone, he struggles, but when he starts within the zone, like the last few days, he can contribute. But behind the plate, I've been very impressed. Not only with the way he calls the game, the way he blocks the ball. It seems like he blocks it and the ball is right in his hand. Throwing, obviously, he's been really good, but there's something about him that he's able to slow down the game. There's not like a big moment. The bigger the moment, I'm not saying the easier it is for him, but he's able to slow it down and think through the situation and call pitches and do certain things behind the plate.
Well, raving about Sandy Leon, the manager Alex Cora. Santos coming out of the bullpen to take on Xander Bogaerts with 1 down and runners at first and third and 3 runs in. And Sandy in the thick of it, drawing a walk right after the Devers double. They have both come in to score along with Mookie Betts. Xander 1 for 4 with a stolen base last night in a Red Sox win. Flies that one to right field. Richard back fairly deep. Here comes the run. The throw home is going to be cut, and another run is in. Mitch Moreland scampering in to make it 4-0 Red Sox.
Red Sox offense continuing to apply pressure. Every out productive.
RBI 66 for Xander Bogaerts. Charged that run to Housechild as well. So the Red Sox building a nice early cushion here for Brian Johnson. Martinez holding at first base, and so it'll bring up Jackie Bradley, who took a walk in the second. So the Red Sox jumping out in front and fouled back by Jackie. Home run and a come from behind win last night. Red Sox 34th comeback win. And a second straight 10-inning come from behind win. Martinez with a short lead at first, 2 away. Oh, 2. Yankees played a long extra inning game last night. They pulled that out in Chicago, so they remain 9 full games behind. And Santos with the 0-2. And a high fly down the left field line. Hernandez on the move heading toward the stands. It's going to drop. Diaz did not make the play either. And it fell in between those two.
When that ball went up, I thought it might be difficult for anybody to catch. Hernandez playing Jackie Bradley Jr. towards the left center field gap, and they don't have a third baseman because of the shift.
But they're both looking at each other.
Someone's got to make the effort to catch it. Right about there is where you start hearing footsteps from the other guy, and you're wondering, I'm not sure if I can get it, and I don't know if he can, and neither one of them did.
That's got to be caught.
Someone's got to catch it. Someone has to take control and call it.
So Jackie Bradley with a swing on the house. 0-2 and 2 away. Fouls that one, and uncatchable back out of play. Sox trying to make it 6 consecutive wins here tonight.
When you look at the 2 players involved in that play, Teoscar Hernandez and Diaz at short, both of them very young players in this organization. It's going to be mistakes.
At any age, it should be caught. Someone's got to make that play. We'll see if Jackie Bradley can make Toronto pay here. He's going to roll this one toward the second baseman. And that will retire the side, but the Red Sox pounce for 4 against the Blue Jays here in the 3rd inning. Bean from the ballpark to your local park. The outside is always better together. LL Bean, be an outsider. Beautiful city of Toronto. Red Sox have jumped out in front 4-0, and Brian Johnson has set down the first 6 he's faced. And now the struggling Russell Martin at 197, leading off the 3rd inning.
Johnson's changeup so far tonight has been brilliant.
Martin still some pop in the bat. He has 10 home runs. He'll be followed by Diaz and then Pilar. So it's 7, 8, 9 for the Blue Jays, as the Red Sox bid for win number 81, getting to 80 wins faster than anybody.
Martin trying to wake up over his last 12 games. He's been a better hitter, more power, 4 homers, hitting .333 over that span, but what a dismal season so far.
Here's the 2-2 from the lefty, and did not get the call on the breaking ball. 3-2. Looked like it could have been a strike.
Top of the zone right there. He has such a big looping breaking ball. When it stays up, it looks higher than it really is.
Payoff pitch toward the middle. Bogaerts to be tested. A sliding stab, but that's going to be a base hit as it comes out of the glove anyway. And Martin is on with a single.
Well, some of the best matchups are still yet to come, including 2 more series against the dreaded Yankees and the Indians. Don't miss a game by importing the NESN Red Sox schedule on any device that you have for alerts 15 minutes prior to each game, with matchup info, streaks, updated times, and more. Visit NESN.com/schedule to import that schedule. Presented by Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of the Boston Red Sox and Major League Baseball.
Now Martin continues his recent good hitting 7-game hitting streak. He'll send up Diaz, another guy swinging the bat pretty well. Back since the All-Star break, 362. And the 0-1. Red Sox taking over sole possession of first place on the 2nd of July. They have held it ever since and expanded that lead to 9 games.
Oh, there you go. I was going to say that's a good pitch right there. Let's bring it up.
Diaz arguing with the home plate ump DeJesus, but take a look.
It took him a little bit of time to make this call, and that's a strike. There's no argument there.
Looking for his 3rd K. A high fly to right field. Betts backing up. Mookie will stop well shy of the track for the catch. And Martin has to stay glued to first base. 1 out.
Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, do not miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud. That's available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Eck will break down Brian Johnson's start.
So far he's allowed 1 hit, 1 base runner. Pilar .248 with 9 home runs. At number 9 last night. Closed the gap a little bit, but the Red Sox would win the ball game. He nearly made a sensational catch, diving after what turned out to be Mookie Betts' triple. And he got the fingers of the glove, barely nicked the glove on the diving attempt.
Well, when this ball went in the air and I looked at the projection between the ball and the player, I really thought Pilar would catch up with this off the fingers of his glove. The thing is, usually when we see him dive like that, he comes up with the ball. You rarely see him dive and miss.
One of the very best defensive outfielders in the game. Went after that one, and down he goes, strike 3. He went fishing on the curveball, and Johnson gets him.
That's always been Pilar's problem. That was a 3-pitch strikeout. He will swing at anything you throw up there. This is nowhere near the strike zone, but very effective pitch for Johnson.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, and life insurance. 2 gone. Back up to the top of the order, and Randall Grichuk grounded back to the pitcher first time up. That a 196 batting average against the Red Sox rotation.
Jeez.
Since the All-Star break. Came out of the break firing. And with the addition of Eovaldi, even more so. And Rick Porcello with that absolute gem against the Yankees, and he'll be on the hill here tomorrow night. Wow. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Back-to-back Ks, and Johnson is sailing early with a 4-0 lead. And concerts at Fenway. The prices and service better than you can imagine. Visit aceticket.com today. Red Sox off to a 4-0 start here in the middle game of the series in Toronto. And Nunez to lead things off against Santos, who had to come out of the bullpen very early to relieve the Blue Jays starter, who lasted only 2 1/3. Eduardo 0 for 1 tonight. And Rafael Devers, who has returned to the lineup. He's already doubled and scored. And looking like that injured wheel is all healed up. Here's the 0-1. And a liner caught by Diaz on the move to his right. 1 man away here in the 4th inning.
Well, tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we're going to have full recap of tonight's Sox game, plus highlights and reaction from Patriots training camp at Foxborough. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people. I got to do that quicker before the next pitch, huh?
You're getting there. It's all about tempo, pace, rhythm. I think you got a shot.
Where does enunciation come in?
I know you got to ask Eck.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-1.
Speed reading through it before the next pitch.
Sandy Leon on deck. Incidentally, we are going to hear from Jerry Remy, who sat down with Tom Caron earlier today. That'll be in the middle of the 5th. Rem Dog to talk about the cancer situation and leaving the booth at this point. Big swing and a miss by Devers, and get there from Jerry himself. I know so many of you have been asking and so many praying for the Rem Dog, and we'll hear from him directly with Tom Caron in the 5th inning. High and tight. Was able to talk with Jerry earlier today as well by phone. And
Jerry,
you know how much he wishes he could be here.
Yeah, he had such a nice career, and he always talks badly about that career. Says he wasn't very good. Such a little guy, couldn't do anything. That's so wrong.
Yeah, always undersold his career as a ball player.
Yeah, right. And also, you talk about a fighter. My
Yes.
goodness, what he's
the
fought
ultimate
through.
fighter. You're right. So looking forward to that interview coming up in the 5th inning with Tom Caron as well. Red Sox ahead 4-0. And another full count. And that'll skip up there, ball 4. So Rafael has reached his first 2 times back. Double and a walk. Red Sox taking a lot of walks.
If they don't like the pitch, they don't swing. They're very disciplined at the plate. They are not an all or nothing launch angle type team.
Let's talk to Buck Martinez, who does an outstanding job broadcasting at Toronto Blue Jays, done national games for years and years, and he was discussing the Red Sox and the mentality of the team, and we're talking about the fact that Stroman was so good last night. He said, yep, there goes Devers, swung on and missed the throw, the tag, and he's going to be cut down at second base. On the chuck by Martin. Everybody looking inside the dugout, see if the Red Sox may decide to challenge it.
Hard to see the angle right there, but it's very close. His hand gets in there. Let's see where the tag is made. Hard to see each one from each angle we saw there.
The Red Sox will not challenge the play. So Devers caught stealing.
Oh, the hamstring's fine though.
Apparently.
Devers does have 5 stolen bases on the season.
In there for a strike on Sandy, but Buck Martinez was saying, you know, the thing about the Red Sox in 2018, all they have to do is stay fairly close and they're going to find a way to win. And even though Stroman was terrific last night for 7, that feeling of the Red Sox are just a couple of swings away. Got on a miss for strike 3, and the side is retired in the end. The Red Sox send only 3 men to bat here in the 4th inning. NESN brought to you by Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Digital Federal Credit Union, what can DCU save you? Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. And by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Bottom of the fourth inning, Sox up 4-0. Trying to win yet another series. They can do that with a W tonight. Devin Travis leading things off against Brian Johnson, who's been razor sharp. He has struck out 4. He's allowed an infield single. That's it. In there for a strike on Travis, who belted a home run early last night. 2-run shot into the second deck in the third inning off of Pomeranz. Here's the 2-1. Center field fly ball. Jackie Bradley there straight away to put it away. So 1 gone for Justin Smoke.
Johnson's had a great mix of pitches tonight. He's actually used his secondary pitches more than he's used his fastball. Almost turning the tables, using his fastball as the change of pace, showing it at times, keeping it away from hitters, just keeping guys off balance with that pitch and going to work with them with everything else.
They fanned this man Smoke in the first inning. He has an 11-game hitting streak. And a 1-0. Our key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire Complete Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Justin Smoke against the Red Sox has been trouble. Look at the 6 home runs. Big one last night to tie the game at 5.
It's 3 for 8 lifetime against Johnson with a home run, and he's in the middle of an 11-game hit streak.
And the 2-1 of the switch hitter. Give him a 12-game hitting streak. That'll keep on rolling all the way to the wall. He's chugging for second base, and he is in with a double. That's their first extra base hit tonight. So swinging a really hot bat, and he's on again.
Wasn't too bad a pitch that he hit. Ryan Johnson had good break on that curveball, caught a little bit more of the plate than he wanted to, but it was down.
Remember last night he hit one to the wall and he settled for a single on it. It was hit a little harder than this one.
And that ball didn't take the big bounce back off the wall. Benny would have had a shot at him down there this time too. We saw a couple balls last night hit by Blue Jay hitters that they turned doubles into singles.
Well, Hernandez struck out first time up. He was caught looking in the second inning. And at second base, Red Sox on top 4-0. And the 0-2. Foul tipped and held, and he struck him out. Hernandez debating it with a home plate umpire. And here comes Gibbons. You can hear John saying ball hit the ground. Ball hit the ground. He said it at least twice.
He's going to say it a few more times too. Big breaking ball again out of Johnson. Let's see the foul tip. Ball hit the ground.
They're both going to walk away, and he is a strikeout victim.
Well, that's just a great job of Sandy Leon right there, selling it as if he caught it right out of the air. A little short hop, clean catch, made it look good.
Even went for the tag,
which then didn't make it look so good. It looked like he dropped it.
Right. Number 5 for Johnson. Here comes Morales, 0 for 1 with a fly to right. With Smoke the base runner at second.
I tell you, I know we're only in the 4th right here, but what a job so far by Brian Johnson. He's keeping all these hitters off balance, pounding the strike zone, just filling it up.
Tried to hold up the appeal, no swing.
Guys like Brian Johnson have to have pinpoint control because they don't have the God-given ability to throw a fastball by you at 98, so you really have to pitch. So much fun to watch guys that do that.
In his 7 starts this season, he has a 2.57 ERA. So he's pitched awfully well and obviously he's pitched out of the bullpen extensively this season, but in the starting capacity, 2-1 with a 2.57. And a trickler. The left-hander handles that off the carpet and sets him down. So he pitches around the double, 1 man left. Champions game number 115. Red Sox outslugged Houston 15-10. Jacoby Ellsbury led the offense with 2 homers, 4 runs. He drove in 3. Mookie Betts to lead off here in the 5th inning. And the news out of New York is Jacoby Ellsbury is undergoing hip surgery, done for the year.
Wow.
Takes about 6 months to recover. Mookie Betts has flied out. He has been hit by a pitch, caught him on the hand, and he has scored a run.
Seems like it took him 6 months to diagnose that they needed to do that.
Yep. Very rough sledding for Jacoby. The 0-2 will miss. On deck, Benintendi and then Moreland. Red Sox looking to add on to a 4-0 lead. Betts came in as the #1 hitter in the American League by 12 points over Altuve, 13 over his teammate JD Martinez.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Not too many pitchers in the big leagues can get away with throwing a pitch like that to Mookie Betts. Better count your lucky stars that this ball isn't still going somewhere.
He came out of his shoes for that.
He can't believe he missed it. One more time. You want to see a picture perfect swing right there. Just kind of goes to show you that even if you have a great swing, doesn't mean you're going to square up every pitch you swing at.
2-2 and socked through the hole for a base hit. So Mookie's on for the 2nd time. He scored his 92nd run of the year in the 3rd inning, and he's aboard again.
Tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TCNEC will preview tomorrow's matchup between Rick Porcello and Ryan Barucki. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
How does he improve on what he did last time out?
He doesn't. He just goes out there and tries to do the same thing. And you know what? That's what he tries to do every time, isn't it?
Just a magnificent performance by Rick Porcello for his 14th win against the Yankees. Mowing them down, 86 pitches, and did not walk a soul, and just the one hit.
Terrific. Look for Mookie Betts to be picking him up and putting him down here sometime soon.
He has one theft tonight, his 22nd steal.
He stole that base earlier in the ball game without even a throw.
Mookie with an on-base percentage of .428, number 2 in the American League, and he's added to that tonight. Jake Petrichka now throwing in their bullpen, a right-hander. They had to go to that pen early, and it's fouled away by Benintendi. You know, we talk about the season that Mookie has had, the season that Martinez has had, Chris Sale, and so many other Red Sox, but you realize that Benintendi could drive in 100 runs, he could score 100 runs, bat 300, and steal 30 bases. You talk about a tremendous year out of a young hitter.
And I think Benny is very comfortable living in the shadows of what some of those other big numbers the other guys are putting up. He's very happy. Just leave me alone. Let me do my job and play hard. You get a great effort out of him every day. That guy, goodness.
Hard hit, pass, smoke down the line. Betts taking off, rounding second. It goes all the way to the warning track. Fabulous is going to wave him in. Nope, he's going to stop now, and he's going to hold at third. And down to second base is Andrew Benintendi. So second and third, and nobody out. So Benintendi with the double.
You saw Smoke come aggressively off first base to play his position, but that ball was hit so hard it got by him before he could react to catch it.
So 2 men in scoring position, 31 doubles as well as all the other stats we were talking about Benintendi.
He's only been around a couple years, but he'll have career highs in almost every category this season.
Now the Red Sox could build a big inning now with Moreland, Martinez, Bogaerts coming up. And a 7-game hitting streak and a .407 clip during that for Benintendi. This is a situation where the base runner made up his mind to stop when the third base coach is waving him in.
Yeah, Carlos Fabulous was waving Mookie in, and he decided to stop at third. Usually you shouldn't do that. Watch Carlos go, and Mookie turned and looked right at the same time, saw the throw coming in, and decided to stop. In retrospect, it may have been a good decision.
I think it was.
Yeah, he may have
I think Mookie's instincts were right on. Moreland already with a 2-run double. He hammered off the center field wall, and it almost got out of here in the third inning.
Toronto will play in to try to prevent more damage. It's a 4-0 lead already. Huge hole open in the left side of the infield right there. If Moreland chooses to go that way, he could drive in 2 easily with a weak grounder to the left side.
0-1 from Santos.
Here's Mitch's last at bat, dead center, right off the 400 sign. That drove in a pair. I think on that last pitch, Moreland was definitely trying to go to left field.
Another 2.5 feet. I think that's gone. Would have been his 15th home run. Number 14 came last night. That was a no-doubter.
There he goes.
Flied shallow. Charging on Hernandez. He'll make the catch. Mookie Betts now will head on back to third. He flirted with it, but scooting on back to the bag as Hernandez came up gunning.
I've never seen anybody do it the way Mookie did it right there. He came off the base looking at the outfielder. Then he took his head off the outfielder and ran hard like he was going to try to score, and then stopped. Just trying to put the decoy on everybody.
So one away for J.D. Martinez. You have 97 RBI, and they are going to walk him intentionally. So that will load up the bases for Xander Bogaerts. They will not mess with J.D. Martinez.
All right, stay on top of the latest Red Sox news with NESN's free Red Sox text alerts. From breaking news to in-game alerts, NESN will make sure you are in the know. To sign up, just text Red Sox to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply.
One down. They are all filled up for Xander Bogaerts, who's driven in a run with a sac fly tonight. He's also flied out to center. And trying to put a giant hurt on Toronto here in game 2 in the 5th inning. And that one jerked all the way to the backstop, but it comes on back to Martin, so no advance by anybody. Mookie had to stay at third.
You know, Dave, I talked to John Gibbons about the home run that JD hit late in yesterday's game, and I asked, were you trying to pitch around him after it got to 2-0? And he says, I thought we were, but I was upset about the pitch selection. You know, Tapero's a guy who throws the ball away from hitters, and he came in on him. That's not what I wanted to see there. He said, but you do realize if we did put him on, bogey kills us too.
Well, that's been the truth. Xander Bogaerts has hit safely in 15 of his last 16 against Toronto.
He said it was a no-win.
So all loaded up. Mookie Betts at third, Andrew Benintendi at second, J.D. Martinez at first with one gone. This was close.
Not a bad pitch right there. Maybe Boga got away with one.
2-0. Xander with 5 home runs in his last 12 games against the Blue Jays. So that's what Gibbons was talking about.
Oh yeah, he says he always seems to kill us. So I did not really want to face JD in that situation. You remember, the first base was not open, but second base was. So he said, if I put him on, that's not a big deal.
If he had it to do again, I guarantee what he'll do.
You got it. Still had to face Bogey, who's killed them.
Now he's got the count his way, 3-0. With one down. Sox up 4-0. And that's going to be ball 4 and 4 in a run. Here comes Mookie Betts from third to make it 5-0. Second RBI tonight for Xander.
And here comes Gibby again.
Well, he decided not to fool with Martinez, loaded him up. That puts the pressure on the pitcher, and he cannot throw strikes. And Xander Bogaerts makes him pay. And they are reloaded.
Check out that last pitch. Ooh, almost a cross up. Down in the zone, Santos saw 2 pitches that he was hoping for strikes out of and didn't get either of them.
It was a strange effort to receive that pitch by Martin, wasn't it?
Almost like he was getting crossed up, like he was expecting maybe a slider and got a fastball instead.
They go to the bullpen again. We'll be back with more in Toronto in a moment. Petrishka, the right-hander, out of the bullpen, and Jackie Bradley will take a ball. Bases reloaded for the Red Sox, already up 5-0. This guy's been pretty tough against lefties, allowing only a .237 batting average. Jackie on the night with a walk. He's grounded out to second. One away.
His job is to get a ground ball.
Jackie belting a 2-run homer in the 10th inning last night.
Ball was pounded way up in the zone. Jackie knew it. It's hard for a left-handed hitter to get on top of that pitch and hit it that far.
Got one of the longer shots in this ballpark. The 1-1. Stay tuned after the third out of this half inning for a special moment. TC sitting down with our man Jerry Remy to discuss his recent news. That'll be in the middle of the 5th inning. Nunez on deck. Red Sox have him loaded up with one away.
Dave, when you saw Jackie hit that home run in last night's ball game, did you think he thought he got it, or that he thought he just missed it?
I think he thought he got it.
I did too. He kind of took his bat like, that's good. I know that one's out of here. I think he knew that it was either out or was going to be caught at the wall.
Off the top of that wall, as he got a good swing on that one, 96 miles an hour, and knocked it foul.
Because with Pilar standing out there, if it's not out of the park, he's catching it. Ooh, there was a good opportunity.
Down the heart of the plate. 2-2. Benintendi, Martinez, and Bogaerts leading from third to first. On the infield, Travis will flip to the bag, and they'll turn to double play and get out of further damage. But the Red Sox now lead it 5-0 as we turn it over to TC with the Rem Dog. About being a fighter. Man, is he ever. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. Red Sox with a 5-0 lead. The words from Jerry Remy. And of course, whenever we get an update on Jerry's progress, we're going to pass that along to you. I know so many of his fans are looking forward to hearing that, and looking forward to hearing that he has beaten cancer again.
Echoing exactly what we had talked about before, how much of a fighter he is.
Been that way his whole life. Bottom of the 5th inning. Solarte to lead things off. Brian Johnson has allowed only 2 hits to this point. Infield single and a double. Russell Martin on deck, and then Diaz. Red Sox scoring some runs for the left-hander. Got 4 of those in the 3rd inning.
Red Sox have been a great team this year at putting big crooked numbers on the board. Wipe out innings.
Well, leading the majors in runs. Runs per game, batting average, slugging percentage, OPS, doubles, extra base hits. Leading the American League in on-base percentage. On and on and on it goes in his magical season. 1-2 fouled away by Solarte.
Remember in last night's ball game, they scored 4 runs in the 8th, 5 runs in the 10th. You can't beat a team that does that. Teams that put up 1 run, 1 run, 1 run, you can beat them. You throw that up there and you add a 4-run or a 5-run inning, now game's over.
1-2 from the southpaw. Rattle toward third. Devers tested defensively, but on target. Solarte's a guy who just doesn't run very hard.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TCNF will break down key plays of this game. And you'll hear from Brian Johnson. You'll hear from Alex Cora. Hoop at WB Mason, celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
Brings up Russell Martin, who beat out an infield hit first time up. One out, bases empty. You want to apologize for some of the technical difficulties we have been having here in Toronto.
The entire country has been.
Here in Canada, yeah. With all the heavy rains last night, power outage this morning, at least in Toronto. And he'll miss away. He hasn't walked anybody. He's gone to 3-0 here on Martin. He's been working quickly, throwing a lot of strikes. But now he's fallen behind the number 7 hitter. And he'll walk Martin on 4 in a row, so he reaches for the second time. Let's toss it down to Guerin.
Obi, this will always be a special place for Brian Johnson. Now, he actually made his major league debut in Houston in 2015, but he considers this where he made his debut in 2017. Johnson said that that's when he was finally healthy and finally able to pitch the way that he knows he can. Now, Johnson has made it perfectly clear since spring training that he's willing to do anything that this team needs him to do. And guys, he was telling me that he goes to Chris Sale with a lot of questions. He said they have a really close relationship. They're from the same place. They actually played Little League together. And you guys touched on this a little bit yesterday. He said Rick Porcello and David Price have been huge for him this season as well.
Yeah, it's a very tight-knit pitching staff. I think unusually so. I can't remember pitchers relying on each other as much as these guys do. Fouled back by Diaz, but you're a left-hander and you're on the Boston Red Sox. You've got a question. Why wouldn't it be Chris Sale, the first guy you'd go to?
Yeah, and when you look at the way Brian Johnson pitches is completely different than the way Chris Sale pitches, but philosophies are the same, and the way you think and the way you go about your business, how do you set up hitters, can be very much the same.
Diaz is flied to right. He's 0 for 1. Red Sox up 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th.
I doubt Brian Johnson goes to Chris Sale and says, hey, what's the grip on your fastball look like?
Yes,
I'm not going to compare.
I think you're right. Rattle toward third. Nice stab. Devers into second base and a lunge, and he'll hold the bag to get the out. Nunez staying on it to retire the runner Martin. Safely into first base is Diaz.
Not sure if they'd had a double play chance at this one. That play takes a little bit long to set up, but because the throw's off line a little bit, Nunez has to become more of a first baseman and just stretch and keep his foot on a bag.
So Martin erased. Diaz now at first base with 2 gone for Pilar, the number 9 hitter. He whiffed his first time up. This series comes to an end tomorrow night. Then the Red Sox head to Baltimore, which will include a doubleheader at Camden Yards. game that was washed out. The Red Sox had a 5-0 lead, had already hit 3 home runs. Game that never should have been started.
Including a 3-run homer from Mookie.
It's the game that'll be made up. Pounded in for a strike.
Benny and JD also had one in that stretch there in that game.
Doubleheader on Saturday at 1 and 7. Single game on Sunday. Red Sox have an off day in Philly. 2 games there against the Phillies. It's a little dribbler swing and bunt here. Johnson will throw a little high, but hauled in. Moreland will make the play at first base to retire the side. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. Nunez to lead it off here in the 6th inning. Sox up 5-0 on Toronto. Eduardo tonight 0 for 2. Devers next, and Sandy Leon.
If there's one thing that Alex Cora might worry a little bit about is with the lineup he has right now, he does not have his best defensive club on the team. Nunez playing out of position at second base.
Up the middle for a base hit. So Eduardo 1 for 3, and the leadoff man on here in the 6th inning. After the game, stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Rodenhiser Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electric with TC and Eck. In the pregame, they highlighted on the Rodenhiser Heat Zone. JD Martinez very hot entering the ball game. Kendrys Morales not so much. Here's how they're doing so far tonight.
And Morales not a very fast runner either.
Devers with a double. He's also taking a walk.
Nunez is in there at second base tonight because he started to swing the bat much better. Also, Brock Holt has hit the skids. Holt 3 for his last 33.
Again, we apologize for technical difficulties brought on by the weather back home in the Boston area. We're working to correct those. Red Sox had 5-zip, however. Nunez with a short lead at first. Toronto, a lot of movement on the infield with the 2-1 pitch, and that one slapped foul back out of play.
early in the count on the shift for the Blue Jays. They have the third baseman and the shortstop in different positions. Then when they get deeper into the count, they switch back.
Article today in the Toronto Star talking about the Red Sox, and that one driven to right field deep. Back it goes. Grichuk turning. It's gone. Rafi Devers slams one into the seats, and the Red Sox open it up here. A 2-run shot to make it 7-0. And the kid has returned in style here tonight. A home run and a double. And that was a laser.
And that is exactly the reason why Alex Cora will give up a little bit of defense. Rafi Devers leads this team in errors with 20, but he's 21 years old, and he has that kind of pop. He wants that offense. Welcome back.
Well, he put a beautiful swing on that one. Man, did he hit it hard. And a young Sox fan came up with it. One strike on Sandy Leon, who has walked and struck out. So the Red Sox on top 7-0. Speedway donating $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox home run this season. Through the end of August, use your Speedy Rewards card when you purchase 3 cooler beverages and receive 1,000 bonus points. So the Red Sox now at a comfortable 7-0 lead. They've been doing this to Toronto all season long. They're 11-3 head-to-head against the Blue Jays, who cannot wait for the season series to be over. Yeah. Against Boston. We were talking about an opinion piece in the Toronto Star earlier today, talking about the Red Sox as a championship team. This is what a championship ball club looks like, and the super confidence they're playing with. On pace for 113 wins.
I like the fact that they are super confident, but they don't act that way.
Chavez leaping up to snatch that one. He makes the play. Time for a game break right now, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Red Sox. Here's Tom Caron. Tom, thank you very much. Mookie Betts now. Red Sox leading 7-0. He has scored twice. So that's 93 runs scored for Mookie. Certainly looking like Betts, Benintendi, and Martinez will all soar past 100 runs. High fly, right center field, long run. Pilar backing up, and he's there on the warning track. 2 down. Duncan's new brown sugar cold brew is naturally flavored, totally smooth. It's a balance of bold and sweet that will inspire you to get out there and kick some molasses all day, every day. That's right, I read it that way. America runs on Duncan. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Steve, don't look at me like that. That was the copy.
That's just read it the way they give it to you.
Benintendi is driven in a run with a sac fly. He's also doubled.
Look out.
Ran in, almost got him. At 96. Andrew quick to react.
Most likely a purpose pitch. Go hard in so then he can throw the sinker down and away, or maybe even a changeup.
Petrichko with a 1-1 and fouled off.
There it is. Hard in, change up away. Benny got a piece of that one.
I know it's early in that Yankee White Sox game, but Severino right away gets hit. There's been a lot of talk about, is he tipping pitches since the All-Star break? 2. That's hammered to dead away center. Pilar racing back. That's going to be over his head. That'll skip up against the wall. That'll be 2 bases for Benintendi, his second double. That swing really is a work of art, isn't it?
It is so pretty. If you're a left-handed hitting little leaguer, Babe Ruth player, high school kid, take note. Another changeup you tried to get. You busted him hard in. Then you try to go change up away. He's all over it. Completely perfectly balanced. That ball is a bullet. You're able to get a ball over Pilar's head in center field. You know you hammered it.
So he's on base again for the 3rd time in this one, after being on 4 times in the win last night. Is Mitch Moreland. 2-run double in the 3rd inning, makes him 1 for 3. He goes the other way. Hernandez will be right there to make the catch, and that will retire the side. Red Sox keep on scoring now, in front 7-0 in Toronto. Go on sale Wednesday, August 15th. New plans include access to potential 2018 postseason games. Go to redsox.com/season tickets for more information. Rafael Devers back in the fold in a big way tonight, a double and a 2-run homer. That's going to be a little roller up the first place line, and picked up in foul ground by Johnson. Thinking for a split second and maybe Sandy Leon would repeat what he did last night, pounce on it, get the tag. Grichuk, but it rolls foul.
Grichuk runs a little bit better.
Grichuk is 0 for 2 in this one. Red Sox had 7-0. In the 6th inning, top of the order for Toronto. He is grounded to the pitcher and struck out.
That curveball's been such a great weapon for Johnson today. Has had everybody out on their front feet. We're not sure at what plane to hit the ball on.
Roped down the line, but foul, and the ball attendant made a fine play.
Now give it away. That's some hustle right there from a sitting position.
Oh yeah, he's a superstar. Well done.
Well, the last ball that was hit right down in that area wasn't caught by any of the Blue Jays.
That's right. He was a little quicker to react.
Yes, he was.
2-2. Just 2 hits for Toronto all night against the lefty Johnson. And popped him up. Backing on Moreland, coming on Mookie Betts. Mookie coming on hard, and he'll make the play in foul ground. Now that's the way to make that play.
Right, and we needed no help from the ball attendant. I'll tell you what, those plays now down the lines are so much more difficult with the shifts that they put on, because your second baseman and your shortstop are so often so out of position playing up the middle. Normally the first baseman like Moreland would never have to even go out and catch a ball like that. It would almost always be the second baseman's ball, but most of the second basemen are playing up the middle now.
Devin Travis hitless tonight, 2 flies to center.
And I can tell you, the first baseman does not want to have to go out and catch that ball. You got to spin around. You're waiting for the dancing bears to come out. It's a hard play.
Little flare. Bogaerts up, Benintendi coming on. Xander will make the over-the-shoulder catch. You made that look easy for the second out. So 2 up and 2 down. Smoke will be next.
Talked about this last night, the willingness of the middle infielders of the Red Sox to go hard into the outfield on a ball that they know some of those outfielders might be sneaking up on them.
Fairly long way to go for that one, but he hauled it in. Smoke has doubled and struck out. He has one of the 2 hits against Johnson. The only one for extra bases. Popped again. Moreland ranging, but that'll sail into the seats and drop. Again, Rick Porcello tomorrow night looking to follow up a spectacular performance against the Yankees. Join us at 7:07. Red Sox will play their last game at Toronto this season. Still another series between the 2 rivals at Fenway. That'll be during that stretch in September where the Red Sox play 15 out of 21 games at Fenway Park. In the center field for a solid base hit. Smoke keeps on swinging it. And he came in with a long hitting streak. He's made 12 in a row with 2 hits tonight. Single and a double. NESN's Backyard Ballpark Contest has returned. Think yours is in a league of its own? You can upload a short video of your backyard ballpark to NESN.com/ballparks. September 3rd, we pick a winner, and we'll host a private party for friends and family at the winner's home field. NESN's Backyard Ballpark Contest, presented in part by Lighthouse Construction. Teoscar Hernandez doesn't get cheated, does he?
No. He kind of came up as a fill-in player when someone got hurt early in the year, and he played so well they never sent him back out.
There's a shot deep to left, way back it goes, and that ball is into the bleachers. Doesn't get cheated indeed. That's his 17th home run of the year, and it puts Toronto on the board here, their first 2 runs.
Now, if you pay attention to the analytics, this is what it starts to tell you. 3rd time through the order, guys start to get a better look at you. He's thrown the fastball, the changeup, the curveball. This one up in the zone. Teoscar all over it.
His 17th to make it 7-2. And bring up Kendrys Morales. He's flied out and grounded out. And a comebacker. Johnson will handle that and lob on to get him to retire the side, but Hernandez connects. 7-2 ball game here at the end of 6. to you by your local New England Ford dealers. LL Bean, if it's outside, we're all in. Be an outsider. Mile 22, starring Mark Wahlberg, in theaters August 17th. And by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Top 7, JD Martinez will lead things off here against Danny Barnes out of the bullpen, right-hander for Toronto. He's on the DL for over a month earlier this summer with tendonitis in his left knee. And coming in with a 4.45 ERA. JD tonight, 1 for 2, a single. He's also taken a walk.
He's not up there to walk. Doesn't do that very often. He puts the ball in play.
Came into the ballgame 13 points behind Mookie Betts for the batting lead.
Already leads in home runs and RBIs, 34 and 97 coming in.
Hammered, and that's a fair ball down the line. That'll go for extra bases. JD Martinez to second base. Another multi-hit night for JD. A double to go with his earlier single.
He also leads the American League in hits too. Right down the line, right over the bag.
So the leadoff man on in the 7th inning. 30 doubles. Xander Bogaerts with another RBI opportunity. He's driven in a couple tonight. One on a sac fly, the other with a bases loaded walk in the 5th inning. And nobody out. Tried to launch on that 82-mile-an-hour slider. TC has a Yankee update and details of that game with the White Sox in just a moment. Shot out toward right center field. Grichuk can't get it. That ball slams into the wall. That's going to bring in another run. Bogaerts will dive into second base with a double. Back-to-back doubles. Red Sox lead at 8-2. Big night for Xander. He's driven in 3. Well, is this a nice sign? Opposite field power here.
Yes, it is. And this team just continues to be relentless with the bat. That's a ball middle in that he goes the other way. Watch him pull his hands in quick. Let the bat head drag a little bit. Great read by JD Martinez too. He was off at the crack of the bat, knew that no one was catching that ball, and Bogey scampers into second with the double.
Red Sox with their 10th hit. A slew of doubles. Devers has one of those along with a 2-run homer. And now Jackie Bradley trying to join the party. He's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. So a lot of guys getting into that 30 to 35 range here in early August in doubles. And the most potent lineup in the game.
It's a good season worth of doubles, isn't it?
And when you think about that shot, though, almost out of the ballpark by Xander Bogaerts, I mean, to go to the opposite field, soon after getting drilled on that hand, to be able to show that kind of opposite field pop, it's a terrific sign.
It's a terrific sign for him to show himself that he can do that.
No question.
Bogey's career high in doubles is 35, so he's getting close to that number. Should blow past it.
2-1 on JBJ. Even up now.
We all know that Bogey's had a history of having some rough second halves in seasons. Last year it was because of the hand and the injury that he had. He got hit in the exact same spot. He said he got hit harder this time. Looks like he's coming through it much better.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3 as Jackie Bradley is retired. Let's toss it back to the studio. Here's TC. Wow, how about that note from TC? First Grand Slam in more than 4 years?
You would think a guy that hits 50 a year would run into one with the bases loaded.
Wow. Red Sox leading here 8-2. Nunez looking to pick up an RBI. He's gone 1 for 3 with a base hit. One away. Bogaerts at second.
You know, when TC's doing those highlights, it's not like he's reading a shot sheet. He's doing a little extra research to throw in a tidbit to wet our whistle a little bit.
Well, this is how you win an Emmy.
To make us think. Well,
yeah.
He's won more than one, hasn't he?
Well,
it's like perennial.
I think there's, being nominated, and he's always very gracious about being nominated. That one down the line, headed deep into the corner. That's foul off into the stands. So a long walk back here for Eduardo. Devers on deck. He's chomping at the bit to get up there again, getting back into the lineup tonight off the DL after the hamstring, and given time for the hammy and the shoulder that he jammed on a diving play at home plate in Washington to heal a little bit. And tonight a double and a home run.
When you look at Rafi and knowing that he's just 21 years old, he handles pitchers very well. The only pitchers that really give him a little bit of trouble are guys that are upper 90s fastball. He has a little trouble catching up. Everyone else, he's just fine.
1-1 here from Barnes. Hit sharply, but gobbled up by Diaz. Back to second, Bogaerts. 2 down. Devers coming up. You make an interesting point too about Devers. And is it a case of not being able to handle that pitch up there? Because you remember that 103-mile-an-hour fastball he turned around on Chapman, or can't stay away from it enough yet.
Right, the ball up gives him trouble, and yeah, you can't stay away. He doesn't recognize to say it looks like a great pitch to hit, but I won't be able to get to it. So let it go. Spit on it.
If it's a ball out of the strike zone, yeah.
They usually are balls.
He's had an excellent night in his return, with his 16th home run in the 6th inning. And his do not hover when he hits them. They tend to be frozen ropes.
Yes, they are.
Like the one tonight. Our high strength steel play brought to you by New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado.
There's your frozen rope. I mean, such a big swing. Look at the big follow through that he gives you. Gets a ton of extra torque that way and just hits bullets out of the ballpark.
Playing tonight like he could not wait to get back in there.
His maturity level is far beyond the 21 years. I mean, that's a pitch right there that the pitcher knows a left-hander is going to swing at. And he just looked at it and said, that's not going to be a strike. It's tailing away. You're not getting me out on my front foot.
Popped up this time, twisting back. Solarte and Martin giving chase, and Solarte overran it. And it falls into foul territory.
Those can be tough plays. You're running so hard towards the boundary wall, but this ball is always going to spin back a little bit and come back to the field of play. So you got to regroup yourself about 15 feet away from the ball and just ease your way into it. He ran right past it. Oops.
No error charged. That young man would have had it, I think.
Yes.
The ball attendant has been spotless.
He's been the best defender on the left side of the entire field for the Jays.
2 out, 2-2. Tried to go the other way, lofted down the line again, but that'll be off into the crowd. Red Sox up 8-2 here in game 2.
How bad does that kid feel when he has to pick up his little stool and run away from a ball when you know he just wants to go catch it?
Because he knows he can.
Yes.
He makes every play. Xander Bogaerts at second. And a 2-2 from Barnes. And a big hack. He wanted to do very serious damage Side retired. Red Sox add another run to lead it 8-2. Tonight, Plain Ridge Park Casino will donate $777 to the Relay for Life of North Attleboro. And we take it to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Steve Lyons, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin here from Rogers Center. Sox on top 8-2. And Brian Johnson back out there for a 7th inning. Low pitch count at 81. Stayed away from walks except for Russell Martin in the 5th inning. And he has allowed only 4 hits. Center fielder Bradley on the move. Jackie backing up. He'll run that one down. 1 man away. Red Sox end of summer family pack is back August 20 through the 22nd. Special ticket offered. Listen to this. You can take the whole family to Fenway. Get free parking at the Prudential Center garage. A free Boston Duck Tours shuttle ride to and from Fenway. A free hot dog and fountain soda with every ticket. Courtesy of Aramark. For more, go to redsox.com/family pack.
How do you lose with a deal like that?
You can't.
Last Memorial Day, 2017, May 27th. Brian Johnson threw a complete game shutout against the Mariners. It was easily his longest outing. He is now in his longest outing of this season. His opening day, his first start of the year. He went 6 innings.
We've been raving about his tempo tonight. Russell Martin wasn't thrilled with it. He thought he was working too quickly, and he got a time out there. Right back with a strike, though.
Well, he wasn't ready to swing the bat once we got going.
Martin infield hit and a walk.
I remember you and Eck calling that complete game victory for Brian Johnson, and Eck felt so good about it. He felt like it was a no-hitter. Great plays out in the outfield to end the game by Bradley.
Did not offer it that one in the count 2-2. And Jackie made a slew of great plays in that game. Brian's family in attendance. They were going crazy in the stands at Fenway. It was a wonderful scene.
It was. All the things that Brian Johnson have been through in his life. Public battle with anxiety. Been hit in the head a couple different times with line drives.
A carjacking at gunpoint. List goes on and on. Unfortunately, 3-2. And could not get him to bite. So Martin's been a thorn in the side tonight. He's reached base 3 times. He's the only man to take a walk, and that's the 2nd time. Base runner with one away. Diaz will climb in next. He is flied out and hit into a fielder's choice.
Look for Johnson to try to throw off-speed pitches here. The big looping curveball, maybe the changeup. Try to get a ground ball double play in this inning.
Kind of a lazy swing there by Diaz, who has some good power. 14 home runs. One of their hottest hitters right now.
Just got fooled by that pitch. Was looking for something off speed, got the fastball.
1-2.
Well, you can just feel the confidence growing in Brian Johnson every time he goes to the mound, because he continues to pitch well for this ball club in any role that they've put him in, and they've put him everywhere.
He got him. Boy, he really made him look silly on a couple of swings, didn't he?
Through 3 straight fastballs. He was rushing him up there at 88 miles an hour, and this is a changeup at 74, hoping for a ground ball. Oh, it looks like a breaking ball instead. Curveball at 74 miles an hour, and he didn't know what to do with it.
Tune in to Nesson August 21st and 22nd for coverage of the WEEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon, presented by Arbella Insurance Foundation. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. So 2 away on the whiff of Diaz. Now the number 9 man Pilar, who has struck out and grounded out, back to the pitcher.
But a great job by Brian Johnson tonight to be conservative with those pitches. Over 90 pitches now, but you remember last night in Pomerant's start, they used Hembry, Workman, Kelly, Barnes, Kimbrel, all out of the bullpen. You got to save some of those guys, and Johnson's helped.
He struck out 6 in this one. Stopped by Sandy Leon, who was drawing raves before the game from Alex Cora about that skill, about the ability to block pitches, how good he is at it, among many other things.
It is a skill, because it's no fun to do. It's something you really have to work at.
Nick Cafardo of Boston Globe said he talked with Mike Rizzo, the general manager of Washington, who says, I regret trading him to the Red Sox. That one scalded in left field for a base hit. That'll move up the base runner Martin to second. So runners on at first and second now for Toronto.
Now you're going to see some stirring out there in the bullpen for the Red Sox. He has thrown a brilliant game so far here. Watch the location of this. They're trying to go down and away. That stays right over the middle. It gets hit hard.
Let's see if the Sox get somebody up in a pen now.
Now you don't want to put Johnson in a position where one swing of the bat ruins a beautiful day from him and puts the Blue Jays back in the game.
And nobody yet. With Grichuk the batter, he's gone hitless 0 for 3 tonight. There are 2 gone. Now the Red Sox are going to get somebody going in the pen. High fly ball late into this one, deep left field. Forget about it. That's way out of here. Grichuk pouncing for a 3-run homer. And now the Red Sox suddenly can't get somebody else in there quickly enough.
That's what I was worried about, and you and I talked about it earlier. Grichuk, the one thing he can do is hit with some power. Right down the middle. A place that Brian Johnson hasn't been throwing the ball all night until this inning.
Now Heath Hembry has just started to warm up in the pen as Dale Levangie has come out. A walk, a base hit, and a massive 3-run homer by Grichuk. That makes it an 8-5 game. Second home run that Johnson has allowed. And Here comes another guy who can do that, Devin Travis, who homered last night. He's 0 for 3 in this one. So it has tightened up considerably. And he'll look at a strike. Brian Johnson's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. And a little too awkward to third base. Devers across and got him. So that retires the side, but not before Grichuk does some damage and makes it 8-5. Lower price for $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Visit MLB.tv for details. Well, the last couple of nights, Toronto has come slugging back, haven't they? Biagini out of their bullpen, where he's been more effective than as a starter. He'll take over as we move on to the 8th inning. And the game has tightened up quite a bit, 8-5 now. Well, Sandy Leon will lead things off against the right-hander. Sandy with a walk. The strikeout is also lined out to the second baseman. Mookie Betts on deck, and then Benintendi. And certainly the night is over for Brian Johnson. And now it's Brazier going in the bullpen. Johnson with a walk, a base hit, 3-run homer in that 7th inning.
You know, you fully expect the Red Sox to go on and win this game with the 8-5 advantage, couple innings left. The relentless attack they have offensively, the back half of their bullpen. But I am sick about what just happened to Brian Johnson.
The 1-1. We were talking during the commercial break. You're a little bit surprised that after Russell Martin took the walk with 1 down, there was no activity in the bullpen yet.
Yeah, he'd gotten up close in 2 and ended up over 90 pitches. That's a lot for Brian Johnson. He had done a fabulous job. He did everything that he asked you to do. Maybe just have someone starting to warm up in case you need him.
That one lobbed toward left, and that's going to drop in on the shoulder of Solarte in there for a base hit. So Sandy is on for the second time, his first hit tonight to lead off the 8th inning.
That way, if you have a guy kind of tossing down there, just loosening up, warming up, and then when you see Pilar get the bullet hit to left field, you're like, okay, maybe time is up.
Mookie Betts on base a couple of times tonight, hit by a pitch on the left hand. He's also singled. He's stolen a base, scored 2 more times. Biagini used as a starter as well, but that hasn't gone well. His career record as a starter, 2-15 with an ERA of 6. Much better as a reliever, ERA of 4.
All combined, the ERA right now stands at 6.66. Ouch.
And a 1-0 to Mookie Betts. Hammered foul. Sox going for 6 in a row tonight. And trying to do it in 9 innings after back-to-back 10-inning wins.
Nobody gets paid overtime.
1-1.
How is this not a balk, OB? Biagini looks like he stops 2 times. He stops there. Oh, that was after the stop, I guess. Kind of stops up at the top of his stretch and then yanks his hands down a few more inches after that. That's a stop right there, isn't it? And now, oh.
Boy, I would think so. Fly foul on a play.
Guess he's moving his feet, shaking his hips a little bit still. Hasn't come to a complete stop. Now he says, okay, I'm done.
It's an awful lot of movement.
Yeah. Before a pitch.
But one of them looked like a complete stop.
They let relievers do a whole lot of weird stuff now, way more than they used to, just to come to a set position.
2-2. Benintendi on deck. Nobody out. And he skipped it up there. A nice stop by Martin. No box on Biagini.
I bet maybe someone somewhere along the line said, look, you've got a lot of extra movement there. You better make it very clear when you're stopping. And so I think that's why he has that really quick jerk move at the end to tell everybody, okay, I'm done and I'm ready.
3-2 now to Mookie Betts. And foul tipped into the mid, held by Martin to strike him out. One gone. Come to Fenway Park for a movie night presented by Fandango on Tuesday, August 14th, the 25th anniversary screening of Jurassic Park. Don't miss your chance to get your picture taken with some of the vehicles from the movie. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $5 for kids, and can be purchased at redsox.com/movie night. Benintendi, good night, 2 doubles and RBIs, also taking a walk. That one will roll away, but Sandy Leon cannot advance.
How about that nasty 3-2 pitch to Mookie Betts? It was the best pitch Biagini threw in the entire at bat. Big, hard, downer curveball. When you're the best player in the game, you don't get those cookie fastballs on 3-2 anymore, do you?
Benintendi with a 7-game hitting streak. Doubled in the 5th, doubled in the 6th. 2-0. Mitch Moreland next. Red Sox ahead 8-5. Getting late here in Toronto. (2-0) from Biagini. Benintendi last 23 games hitting .385. Been one of his best stretches of the season. And it's continued here tonight. Sandy Leon, the base runner, and he will not offer. Count is all his way now, 3-1.
So many guys on this ball club with just really good eyes at the plate. They don't come out of the zone. They don't swing at pitches in the dirt. They don't swing at balls up. You throw them a ball out of the strike zone, they don't offer.
And he's on again as he takes ball 4. So on for the 4th time in this one. He was on base 4 times in game 1. First and second. Time for Built for Baseball now, presented by T-Mobile.
All right, there you go with Mitch Moreland. We've seen this double a couple of times, hit right off the center field wall, right off that 400 sign. We talk about how difficult it is to get a ball over Pilar's head. Benintendi did it. Mitch Moreland did it for a 2-run double.
So Mitch with a good couple of nights here north of the border, trying to add to it. First and second, one away. And Biagini finally delivers, and a big swing that was meant to do a serious damage. Strike 1. Last night's shot in the 10th inning, that 3-run homer proved to be a game winner. He's second on the team with 11 game-winning RBI. That includes 5 on homers. 1-1. Red Sox have played so well here, particularly recently in Toronto. Won 16 of the last 20 in this building. Looking for a big hit to get serious distance. High fly, left center field. Pilar racing back, still on the go, to the track, to the wall. He slams in and makes the catch as the runners go back to second and first. And he knew he was going to go into that wall, and he hung on.
Well, you're seeing 2 of the premier center fielders in the game in this series. Moreland wishes it wasn't true. This ball's hit so hard. Watch Benintendi coming up around second. He thinks if it might get in, he's going to go around second base. He's looking to see where Leon is. Once the catch is made, he retags second and goes back to first. But if that ball drops in, he'd follow Sandy Leon all the way home.
Pilar with another really fine play. Brings up JD Martinez, though. Another good night for JD. A single, a double, a walk. He has scored a run. Sitting on 97 RBI, and he will take ball 1. Leon at second, Benintendi at first. Red Sox up 8-5 in the 8th. And looking to continue this historic pace of 2018. The looper toward right center. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Leon is in to score. Benintendi off to third, stopping there. It's another 3-hit game for JD Martinez. Give him 98 RBI, and the Red Sox lead it 9-5.
Anything you ask for, the guy can deliver. That's a tough pitch to hit. Gets in on his hands a little bit. But as JD will tell you, good hitters do get jammed sometimes, and you can find a way to get hits. Stay with your program.
So 2 singles and a double for Martinez. Beat goes on his 9th 3-hit game. He had one last night too, when he drove in 4 runs. And that'll bring up Xander Bogaerts, who has 3 RBIs already in this one. Doubled off the wall last time up to the opposite field. 2 down. And the breaking ball didn't snap. Ball 1.
OB talked about it earlier today that JD Martinez may have 100 RBIs before we leave the country.
98 and counting. Benintendi to runner at third base, and the 1-0. Scooped up by Martin, and a count 2-0.
Scored 10 runs last night. They've got 9 again tonight. This offense is relentless.
Hearing that word to describe the Red Sox over and over and over now. Hearing a lot of folks on the national stage use that word relentless.
Oh, look at the production. Production out of the back half of your order. Nunez, Devers, and Leon. 5 runs between them.
Rafael Devers returning tonight. Double and a 2-run homer. Leon has scored a couple of times. Nunez with a run, scored a base hit. Turning over that lineup. Here comes the 3-0 now to Xander. Red Sox with a dozen hits. Toronto with 6. And Bogaerts with an extra base hit could really have a major night. Here's the 3-1 from Biagini. He's going to walk him instead, and that'll reload the bases. That's happened many times tonight for the Red Sox, so there'll be no place to put him with Jackie Bradley coming up. Jaime Garcia, the left-hander, now loosening their bullpen.
Red Sox have found ways to score tonight any way you want it. Scored 6 runs via the hit, 1 run with a bases loaded walk, and 2 runs from sacrifice flies today.
Well, that look has been on his face most of the season, hasn't it?
And I don't think he's trying to hide in the corner over there. That's just really that's usually where he stands.
He is a really, really good baseball man. He's been a fine manager, but this has been a tough season for Toronto. Red Sox have had a lot to do with that and their misery. Now Jackie Bradley. And Jackie with a walk. He's also gone 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out, hit into a double play, and struck out. 2 down. And the Red Sox trying to put this game on ice. Benintendi the runner at third, Martinez at second, Bogaerts at first. Sox have loaded up the bases tonight a bunch of times already. Here's the 0-1.
Whoa.
That get into the stands very quickly. 0-2. Another game where the Red Sox have scored more than 5 runs. When they've scored 5 or more, their record is 57-9.
Jackie's going to have to battle now. Think up the middle. Oh,
that one runs in. It's going to skip away all the way to the backstop. Here comes Benintendi. He is in to score. Martinez to third. Bogaerts into second. Somehow that got all the way through. It looked initially it might have gotten a piece of Jackie Bradley. It did not.
Yeah, how did it miss him?
Wild pitch.
Bounced right at his feet and goes past him. Oh, the spin of the pitch. You see a breaking ball like that will spin back naturally towards the catcher, and that's the only reason it missed him.
So that'll make it 10-5. Second night in a row the Red Sox have hit 10 runs here in Toronto. And 1-2. Red Sox have scored in the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, again here in the 8th. Base hit could mean a couple of more. The 2-2 from Biagini. And a big swing and a miss to put him away. And can strand a couple, but the Red Sox add a couple, and 10-5 down the middle of the 8th inning. Xfinity. Red Sox will be dipping into the bullpen again and bringing on Ryan Brazier. Brian Johnson went 7, charged with 5 earned runs in the end. 3 RBI for Xander Bogaerts tonight. Rafael Devers, a very nice return to the lineup. Red Sox keep on scoring in big numbers on top, 10-5. Smoke leading off, a double, a single, and he's also struck out. So Brian Johnson can win it. If he does, he'll improve to 3-3. And the Red Sox will take the first 2 games of the series, but work to be done still. And the first 2 in the series would be yet another series victory.
Well, baseball's always been a game that's so very much stat driven and relies on numbers, but boy, the stats don't tell the story tonight. Brian Johnson, 7 innings, 5 earned runs. It looks like he had a terrible outing. Ball attended down that side, not quite as good.
Well, you're asking a lot if they're both Gold Glovers. The young man down the left field line, he may be a platinum glover.
Look at he's just so chill down there, and this guy's now I missed one. I'm going to be gripping the rest of the night.
Well, you're right about Brian Johnson. Through the first 6 innings, they only scored 2 runs, and he had them all tied up in knots. Gave up 3 and a 3-run homer in the 7th inning.
Yeah. May have been out of gas, but at that point, but it just looks so much uglier when you look at the line score than the performance that he showed us tonight.
Yeah, pitched exceptionally well for those first 6 innings. He really did. And deserving of a victory. That one hammered up the middle. This guy's red hot. Smoke with his 3rd hit. He is 3 for 4 tonight. Leadoff base hit in the 8th inning for Toronto. CBS Health is investing $50 million over 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives. Learn more at cbshealth.com/be-the-first. Teoscar Hernandez will step in tonight. Mixed bag for him. He has struck out a couple of times, but in the 6th inning, he ripped a 2-run homer. His 17th. Toronto keeps battling back these first couple of nights.
There's that home run in the 6th inning by Hernandez. That was a pitch that was left out over the middle of the plate. Johnson knew it.
Brazier's 0-1. Right past him in 96. Brazier last worked on Sunday against the Yankees, an inning and 2/3, allowed only 1 hit. Came into this one with a 1.42 ERA.
Been a guy who was supposed to come up and fill in. He's pitched so well. Same thing, very much like Hernandez for the Jays. Wasn't supposed to stay here. Brazier wasn't supposed to hang around, and look at him now.
That brought up on July 8th from the Paw Sox. He's been with the Red Sox ever since, and he was an all-star in the International League.
He was supposed to be the guy that got called up to help for a few days, and then when everything settled down, go sent back there to where you're supposed to be in Pawtucket, and he said no way. And he came in throwing 98. People started opening their eyes.
Past him, 97, popping the mitt, and down goes Hernandez. He fans one away.
Just good old country hardball at 97. Nothing fancy.
You know, Alex Cora said when he came up in early July, he said, I remember him from spring training, and you know, guys can make an impression that lasts a long time down in Fort Myers in those days in February and March, and this guy did. Came in throwing like this, 96, 97, 98 with the breaking ball.
Made an impression on me as well. I did a lot of those games down there. He came in and saved many of those games in spring training. The funny thing is, he didn't make an impression on his teammates because they were gone out golfing, you know, doing whatever they do after their 3, 4, 5 innings of work. They never saw him pitch. And then when he showed up throwing 98, someone said, whoa, where did this guy come from?
Morales has gone 0 for 3. You know, Steve, I don't know if you remember this, but I did a lot of those games with you. Do you remember that part of the story? I mean, you and I did most of those games in spring training together, didn't we?
That's what I'm talking about. But I don't think you remembered him as well.
Oh, as well as you did, yeah. Matter of fact, when he was in the game, you would text me.
Who's this?
Who is this guy? I'm sitting 2 feet away from you. And he puts another man away as he fans Morales. Back-to-back Ks by Brazier.
That's nice. That is perfect location right there. That's a dangerous pitch for a guy to throw to a left-handed hitter, because if you miss your location, that pitch goes a long way.
Sends up Solarte, who's 0 for 3. Red Sox ahead 10-5 here in the 8th inning. Sox have only had to use a couple of pitchers. Toronto's used 5. Their starter lasted only 2 1/3 tonight. And Brazier with the 0-1. Hammered toward the middle. Xander Bogaerts will knock that down. He'll have no play anywhere. Runners will be safe at first and second. That'll be an error on Xander to allow both runners to get to first and second.
That surprises me a little bit. Not an easy play. He had to go back there and set up backhand. It would have been a long, hard throw to make.
So it'll send up Russell Martin, who's had a good night. He is one Toronto Blue Jay who has a base hit, pair of walks. In there for strike 1. Martin's had a good, solid career. Native Canadian.
For Montreal.
Off the end of the bat, little ground ball. Moreland will flip on to Brazier to get the out and retire the side. They will strand two. It is out of the ninth. 10-5 Red Sox. Is brought to you by the all-new Subaru Ascent. Love is now bigger than ever this summer. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by it's the first of its kind in a region that's no stranger to firsts. MGMSpringfield.com. Beautiful city of Toronto. Red Sox on top 10-5, closing in on taking the first couple. And a new pitcher, Garcia, former starter, has been on the DL a couple of times this year with the same injury, inflammation in the left shoulder. He was on from June 20 to July 14th and also back in May. Kind of scuttled his season.
That'll do it to you.
Eduardo 1 for 4 with a base hit, scored a run. He was on when Devers socked his home run in the 6th inning. Big inning for the Sox tonight was the 3rd when they got 4 runs that have kept on scoring, obviously. Devers has been in the thick of it. So is J.D. Martinez, Mitch Moreland, Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi. Loop foul. Eduardo at second base tonight with Devers returning to third. Rafael will not play tomorrow. Alex Cora telling Guerin that he wants to get him off his feet tomorrow after playing on the artificial turf here, first game back from the hamstring. Popped up down the line, Solarte underneath that, and he'll make the running play. 1 man out. Get expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at Fenway at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. The first aid station at Fenway is behind section 12 on the lower concourse. You can visit bidmc.org.
First 2 games of this series, the Blue Jays have used 9 relievers.
Yeah, they keep shuttling them into the ball game. Quick start here by Housechild, who was a really good story after 1 outing. Not so much tonight. Red Sox knocked him around. his first major league start tonight.
Well, I think that's why we told the story of him in the first inning, because we weren't sure how long it was going to last.
Told it quickly.
It's kind of a confusing guy anyway, because they weren't sure what his name really was. Weren't sure if it was Housechild or Hosschild, and his nickname is Hoss, so that just makes it even more confusing.
But we know the pronunciation is correct because we asked him.
Yes.
2-0, and a dribbler up the first base line. Smokes right there, will go back to the base to get the out. 2 up and 2 down, so Devers is retired. And that'll send up Sandy Leon. And activity in the Red Sox pen as Joe Kelly is getting ready. Red Sox had 10-5 here in the ninth. Trying to make it a 6-game winning streak. Sandy in this one has scored a couple of runs. He walked in the 3rd inning. Red Sox brought him in. He singled in the 8th inning, and they brought him in again. And he'll take the first one for strike 1. Yankees have a 7-3 lead in Chicago in the top half of the 6th inning. Stanton hit a grand slam tonight for them. So they're trying to remain 9 behind the Red Sox. Should both teams win tonight. Here comes the 0-2. And swing and a miss. He struck him out. Red Sox go in order. We are off to the bottom of the 9th inning in Toronto. The Sox up by 5. Comfortable 5 runs here, and here's a look at the pitching line of Brian Johnson, brought to you by Ace Ticket. He went 7, charged with 5 earned runs, struck out 6, 98 pitches, in line for the win. It's a little bit misleading if you're just joining us, because in the first 6 innings he allowed only 2 runs. He was really in total command. And the 7th inning, a walk, a base hit, 3-run homer. Here comes Joe Kelly now. Through the 7th inning last night, scoreless inning with a couple of strikeouts. He hit 100 miles an hour too. That one wrapped into right field for a base hit. Diaz, who's been really hot, from the All-Star break on, hitting around 360, and he's aboard here to lead off the 9th inning.
Does like to go the other way. He's proved that in this series.
So Diaz on, and it'll be Pilar next, 1 for 3 with a base hit. It's the 8th hit of the ball game for Toronto. Diaz has hit 6 in a row. He snaps in a breaking ball to get started on Pilar. And the 0-1 from Kelly. Went right back with the same pitch, and it's quickly 0-2.
It's a hard biting breaking ball too. Especially he throws it so hard. Down in the zone to begin with and in the dirt when it ends up.
Ooh, he missed that by a lot. Wonder if he'll triple up.
You're not hitting it, that's for sure. He either triples up or he goes up in the zone past Pilar. The fastball at about 98 at his shoulders.
Liner down the left field line with a foul ball. Well, he did not come back with number 1.
3 straight breaking balls.
Randall Grichuk on deck. He belted a 3-run homer back in the 7th inning, which cut the Red Sox lead at that point to 3. And the 0-2. Past him, 99 miles an hour. Pilar barking at the home plate umpire DeJesus.
Tyler, did he think he got quick pitched there?
That's about the only thing I can figure. Struck him out.
Don't swing.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense there.
Yeah. And Pilar will swing at anything, so.
Yeah, nothing else happened in that at bat. That'll bring up Grichuk. 3-run homer tonight. He's gone 1 for 4. Red Sox hit 10-5 with 1 away in the bottom of the 9th. And closing in on winning the first 2 games of the series, hanging 10 runs on Toronto in each game. 100 in there. 0-2. Diaz on at first with 1 gone. Kelly looking for back-to-back whiffs. And punch foul instead. Red Sox looking down the nose of their 81st victory. 0-2 again to the leadoff man. Grichuk, the leadoff hitter for Toronto, 15 home runs. Red Sox with a record when leading after 8 innings of 72-1. Shattered bat, loop to center field, and that's going to drop down for a base hit. Diaz up to second and stopping there. Most of the bat wound up near third base. So it came apart, but Grichuk will have his second hit.
Watch this thing shatter just on a breaking ball right there. Gets it off the label a little bit. You just ended up carrying a sword with you. The rest of your bat's out at shortstop. That bat dies a hero, and it's a base hit.
So the second hit of the inning off of Kelly will send up Devin Travis. Red Sox have quieted him so far tonight. He's 0 for 4. 1 man out.
Travis with a home run in last night's ball game. Boy, he hammered it too.
He's hit 8 of those. Going the other way, floats that one foul out of play. Strike one. Back to the home run swing last night.
Watch how nicely he connects with this. Ooh.
Yeah, that was early in the game. He opened the scoring with a 2-run blast in the 3rd inning. He has 2 on with 1 out in the 9th inning tonight. Oh, 0-2.
Breaking ball from Joe Kelly. You can see it, a little spike grip, spinning right in the strike zone.
And Kelly with the 0-2. 101, but he missed with it.
Joe's not really a max effort guy to throw 101. It's pretty fluid and easy 101.
I could really use a ground ball right at somebody right here. The 1-2 pitch. Trickler foul.
Kelly's one of those guys that, sure, he can get ground balls. He can get a double play here, but he's not a ground ball pitcher. He doesn't sink the ball. He four seams almost everything up there unless it's a breaking ball.
Diaz and Grichuk are the base runners at 2nd and 1st. He skipped it up there and blocked by Sandy Leon. So back to that knuckle curveball, and now Kimbrel is active in the pen. After working last night.
See, that's Alex Cora right there being a little preemptive and making sure that, hey, one swing of the bat right here, you get the Blue Jays to within 2. Kimbrel's coming into this ball game.
Smoke, the man who homered off him, is on deck. Here's the 2-2. And a ground ball. Bogaerts, second one on the first, 2, and the Red Sox turn to double play. And put this one into the win column by a final score of 10-5. He got that ground ball indeed. Welcome back to Rafi Devers. Big night for him tonight with a home run and a double. The Red Sox TC for the 2nd night in a row pile up 10 runs.